The market closes, leaving investors with mixed messages. Can we look forward to lasting economic growth? Experts are uncertain. The price of oil climbs to over $60 a barrel as U.S. output takes another dive, and airline stocks are breaking even today. This despite taking a hard hit yesterday. Let's welcome into MidPoint the one man who can make sense of all this, the editor of the Financial Intelligence Report, Jeff Yastine. How you doing today, Jeff?
Doing great, Rick.
All right, give us a little bit more of an update on the markets. How do they do today?
Yeah, just another day of kind of back and forth. We have the Dow finish up 4 points. Again, you want to call it a marginal new high. I guess we could. S&P 500 up 5 points. The NASDAQ gaining 19. But the market's still looking for some direction here and a reason to go higher in a big way. So let's just say it's marking time before, presumably, the next big move.
Well, Jeff, we're seeing airlines cutting fares. Good news for those summer travel plans. Investors have to be a little concerned. American Airlines went down over 7.5% yesterday, but you're saying a little bit of a rebound today, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. And you can say that pretty much for all the airline stocks. Some were off bigger yesterday, some not quite as much, but they all fell. Contributed a great deal to the decline in the Dow Jones transportation average. The key here is that certain leading airlines like Southwest Airlines, which is been one of the most well managed for decades now, they're talking about expanding their fleet and expanding the amount of seat capacity they have in that fleet by around 8% this year. If that happens and the other airlines take up, what that means is, yes, we'll probably have somewhat cheaper fare prices, which is great for us as consumers. But if you're an investor in airline stocks, it means that a lot of these may start heading south just because right now they have the best of both worlds, cheap gas prices as well as a dearth of seats available, which allows them to charge higher prices. If that's changing, look out.
Well, what's the prognosis there, Jeff? Do we need to jump on these lower airfares, or do you think this is going to continue for a couple of months?
The lower airfares likely will continue because, look, let's face it, the economy, it's growing by some capacity here, and people want to fly. Airlines are starting to struggle in terms of getting in more people. That's why they want to add more capacity. When they're doing that sort of thing, or even anticipating doing that sort of thing, they're going to lower airfares in order to bring more people into the circus tent. And that's got to be a good thing, especially now, as you said, this is starting to hit the peak time, or will be hitting the peak time for the flight season.
Jeff, let's talk about this improving economy. Sluggish first quarter, labor disputes, bad weather, but leading economic indicators actually grew in April, the highest growth in 9 months. Should we continue to be optimistic about the state of the U.S. economy?
Well, certainly if you look at what the stock market is doing, the stock market tends to anticipate. Right now, the market is still within a few hairs of all-time highs for both the NASDAQ and for the industrial stocks. Certainly so, investors are anticipating better things ahead. But you just don't know. A lot of this is depending on interest rates. The Fed's talking about raising interest rates. Right now, they are quite low. If for some reason it believes that the economy is going to continue so much that interest rates have to be raised by the Federal Reserve, which it has been warning about for some time, then all bets are off the table because interest rates form the bedrock for so much of the profit margins and the borrowing abilities of corporations as well as U.S. consumers.
20 seconds left. Where are we at right now with oil prices?
Oil prices finished up around $61 a barrel. Inventories grew by less than expected, and U.S. oil output declined. So right now, all things are pointed in the right direction. If you're hoping for high oil prices, some big banks like Goldman Sachs and others still think we're going to have low oil prices later this year.
All right, if you're a fan of Jeff's and you want more of this information, let's tell you a little bit about that website. And again, it's a great resource. Jeff Yastine, you can find out more at www.fircollapse.com. Jeff, always a pleasure talking to you. Thanks for the great information today, and I'm sure we'll talk to you soon. And when we return, we're joined by our panel to hash out today's headlines right here on MidPoint.